Here I have the Bob Renegade wagon, the latest from Bob Gear, and it is a 3-seater wagon, which is super unique. If you're new here, I'm Emily. I'm a mom of 2, almost 3, and I'm the stroller mom. I review strollers and car seats for moms and families, and we have been testing out this Bob Renegade for several months now, and I'm very excited to walk through all the thoughts I have and hopefully help you decide if this is the right wagon for you. Okay, so starting with the price, this wagon retails at $749, which is a pretty expensive, but comparable to what other products within the Bob Gear line cost. I will say I have already noticed, it's not been out for that long, but they do run a lot of sales. So that's something to always be checking, and I have a link below in the description if you want to check out where you can purchase this wagon. You can also buy it without the canopies to save costs, but I will say the canopies are a really nice addition, especially if you're going to go with one of these higher end wagons. So we'll kind of go through that in a little bit. Starting from the top with the handlebar, it has this nice plastic handlebar. I will say it's not my favorite. I've gotten spoiled with like the rubber leatherette handlebars, and the plastic just kind of feels, and the lines they have, I don't love how it feels on my hands. But it's not the end of the world. You can either use this little lever here and pull it like this, or it can be locked. You can push it, that's what the locked position's for, but I have found in general, this style of wagon, I'm pulling more than I'm pushing. The 2 cup holders here are okay. I will say they fall off a lot when I'm loading it in and out of my car. They do not hold top heavy cups. So your traditional Stanleys are not going to fit, but like an average water bottle, those things, I mean, I wouldn't put hot beverages in this for sure, but it's better than not having anything. The other thing I will say is this gets very hot. It's black, it's plastic. In the sun, I have found that if we're sitting out at the park and it's not in the shade, I will burn my hand when grabbing onto the handle, and that is kind of a big deal for me, to be honest. The brake is pretty flip-flop friendly. I find that it's a little hard sometimes. You can see how it pushes down, but honestly, it's not like the worst thing in the world. It has nice wheels. It does say that it does okay on the beach, but I will say it doesn't do amazing. I don't think many things do amazing on the beach with sand, but it's better than like a Mockingbird or like the Vista. You would just be stuck. So it handles that okay, but I did have to really push to be able to test it on the sand. So let's jump into the seats and the canopies and kind of the configurations for your kids. So let's dive into the actual wagon portion of this stroller wagon. So it does weigh 42 pounds, which is very heavy. It is definitely one of my biggest downsides with wagons in general is that they're heavy and bulky, and that is true. But across the wagon lines, if you're in the market for a wagon, that's something you're going to see pretty consistently. While it does have a pretty nice fold, which I will show you here in a little bit, that 42 pounds, especially lifting it into my trunk and out of my trunk, can be a lot. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you're looking at going with a wagon over a stroller. You kind of just have this big footprint and a lot of weight that kind of comes with it. The canopies are really nice. They are a nice height. They're for, I think, up to 42 inches of a child, which covers you for a long time. And then obviously if your kids are using it when they're older, you have good options there. Like you don't have to use the canopies, and they come off really easily. I do like them. I have found that they're really easy to put. They're sufficient. They don't have any peekaboo window, but honestly for a wagon, you're dealing with older kids. You're not going to need that. Something to be aware of kind of on that older kids note. Wagons, in my opinion, are in their prime for families with older children. It is because they don't really have amazing configurations, though some do try, for an infant who cannot hold its head or sit up unassisted. So currently the Bob Renegade does not have any options for infants. So that means there's no car seat adapters, no bassinet insert, nothing like that. They are working on one, and it's supposed to be coming out later this year. We'll see. I haven't heard anything recently, but it's not going to work unless you have a child who can sit up unassisted. But I have found that the older the children are, the better wagons are. And that's the thing about wagons. If you're looking at wagons, it's easy for kids to get in and out of wagons, whereas strollers are a little bit more awkward for them to climb into, and they like that, right? Go back to the little tyke wagons that we all grew up with. So that's something just definitely to note. The wagon in total, because wagons are made to haul, they can hold 55 pounds in the seat, and They also can hold up to 165 pounds total in the wagon. Now, if you're having kids sitting in the seat, you're not really able to haul much else in addition to your children. But if you're, say, for example, using this to go to the beach and you need the option of either having your kids sitting in it or using it to haul stuff, it has great options there. 165 pounds is definitely going to give you more weight capacity than a lot of strollers. Now jumping to the snack tray. I really like the snack tray. Apart from the fact that it does not fold with the wagon unless it's on the back, you have two options, either between the children or in the back. The cup holders are great. I mean, it can hold a Stanley. It can hold almost all kids' water cups, right? Even these ones with the bigger bases. I love that I can put that in there. I also really love the compartments. It has a compartment for each kid. So there's 2 kids here and 1 there, which we'll get to in a second. But I fed my kids lunch here at the park. It's just really nice. I think the feature that it can fold on the back is really nice. I wish it could fold in the middle, but it's something that I've been really happy with. Diving into the seats. This wagon is super unique in the fact that it can hold 3 children. So 1 child on this side, and it has the harnesses there, and then 2 children on this side. I like the buckles. The seats are plastic, so they're not padded, but that's so nice to clean. It can get hot if you don't have the canopies and it's sitting in the sun. So I have found that that's a little bit of a downside, but that's what you're gonna have with black wagons in general, is that, but they are plastic. They have pockets on the side. So these sides have these, I don't even know what this material is, like a polyester. And then this side has mesh pockets, which you can put snacks. I put my phone in there. There's lots of different things and uses for those. The seats each hold 55 pounds, and then collectively the wagon can hold 165 pounds, right? So when you're not using it for children, you want to use it to haul, there's some good options in storage there. I will say for a wagon that holds 3 kids, the foot space is not the best, especially if you're putting in this wagon, say, a 6-year-old. They're not going to have a lot of foot room in between the seats, so you can kind of see that there. The buckles are super easy to do, and just to undo them, you just press that button. You do have the option to do the 3-point if you wanted to, as opposed to the 5-point if you have an older child, or no buckles at all. That's what you want to do. I like that there's mesh on the bottom to kind of get some added airflow by their feet. Okay, so before I dive into how to fold it and unfold it, I will say that I have noticed in the few months we've been using it that the frame does take some beating. You can see there's scratches here and dings from it. We use it, right? And you'll see as you see the close-ups of these that I tried to clean it, but we really put these wagons to the test because I want to be able to give you an honest review of strollers and wagons. So that's just something that I have found is a little bit annoying for as expensive as this wagon is. So to fold it, you have to fold certain seats a certain way. So this seat right here on the side closest to the handlebar, you fold first, and you can see how it has that really nice, unique way of how it goes down. And then you can fold this next side, and they're really easy. You just slide and push the button, and then it goes down there. And then the handlebar just has this little lever here, and you can push it in. But that's a big footprint. That is a big footprint for sure. What we have found is when we've taken this on long road trips and we're having put a lot of things in our trunk, you can take the wheels off, and they're honestly pretty easy to take on and off. We've been really happy with that. We have found sometimes that these little protectors here will pop off, and that's a little inconvenient, but it's not terrible. And then obviously you don't have to have the snack bar there, so that can make it a little bit more of a compact fold. It's not terrible, honestly, from a fold standpoint, especially when you take the wheels off. So to open it, you just go ahead and pull the handlebar back open, and that pops. You heard that locked. And then the thing that is so cool about this wagon that I love is you can use this little so the bottom one's the brake. The top one is this lever that pops the seat open into place, which is really cool. And then you just pull this other seat open, and it's that easy. So it is really easy to open and close. I think that's something Bob did a really good job on, as well as using high quality materials. The dinging and things like that, I think that's just part of being a very heavy, bulky product, but I have been really happy with the quality from the canopies of everything there. The pull with this wagon and the push is not perfect, but it's not bad. I mean, it does better on all terrain because of the tires. It has these nice, thick, bigger tires in the back that lock, and then these front tires. But I have found that it can be a lot on dirt roads pulling, and especially the heavier weight you have in it, the harder it's gonna pull. But that's gonna be standard with a lot of different strollers. So who's this stroller best for? If you are expecting your first child, I probably wouldn't get this wagon. It is definitely best for when you have older child who can sit up unassisted. So your youngest being 6 months old or older, and that's assuming they can sit up unassisted. It definitely is better for those families who are going to sports games, who maybe are not even in and out of their trunk. They're walking to the beach or walking to areas and they have the storage space for it, because it does take up a lot of storage and it is heavy. I have found, especially being pregnant, it can be a lot for me to get this wagon in and out of my car when I don't have any help and then getting my kids in it. Kids love wagons. They just do. And so that's another thing. If you're finding that you're in a stage where your kid doesn't really like wagons as much or doesn't like strollers as much, a wagon may be a great option for you to still be able to have that ability to transport them longer distance without them walking and being able to haul things. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please comment below. I love to talk to you and hear your thoughts. If you decide you want to buy it, please buy through the links because it helps support this channel at no additional cost to you. If you have any questions, please comment below and be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.